Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And today, pretty excited about this one. We have Audrey Cavenecia on with us. Man, great energy, awesome lady doing some amazing things. And I'm so thankful to have her on. So first, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
Thank you. I am honored to be here and be with you.
Let's go. Let's get it. Well, let's dive into it. I know off air we talked a little bit about your life story and your journey and some of the things that you've been blessed and fortunate to achieve. But if you don't mind sharing a little bit about your journey and let the people know who you are and what it is you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a pretty unique background in terms of a hybrid. So I come from the entertainment business originally, in front of the camera, on stage, touring, that whole world, and then made an interesting segue early on in my career into executive coaching and training. And I know that sounds like a really big leap, but if you think about the both of them, they're both on the other sides of really getting into human qualities in a very disciplined way and being able to explore sort of the wholeness of, you do that when you develop a character, and you also do that when you're leading teams. You've got to get into your own humanity. Where are my barriers? Where are my blind spots, right? So from just two different sides, each side of the coin, I took that on and I developed that. And then early on, I saw, as time went by and I really gained success in those areas, I saw, hey, I wonder if I brought them together, kind of like a Reese's peanut butter cup. What if I brought the chocolate together with the peanut butter? What would happen? Something really great might happen. And it did. It allowed me to get into branding and marketing and content development in a very unique way, because I wasn't just creating stories. I was about creating stories that produce results. I was about creating stories that actually had a strong outcome and changed people's lives, and then being accountable for that. So that was rare when I came out. So I had some really amazing opportunities. I've launched an island for a billionaire. I've launched and taken public a biotech company that democratizes the clinical trial process. I now work with Pete Carroll with a media company where we're amplifying voices with a strong focus on Black voices. And again, I think, it's been hard to define me. A lot of people along my career were like, I don't really get what you do. And I think that's okay. Sometimes you don't need to understand what makes up the person, just that they match your values, they match your focus, they match your North Star. So that's a little bit about me.
That's awesome. So good. Such a neat story. What are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Okay. One is the kind of parent that I have come to be, because, and I know this is going to sound awful, but when I was young and I would look at my mom who had 5 kids and she was just always stressed and crying and yelling about something. Sorry, Mom, I don't mean to diminish you into that, but it was like that as a little girl when I looked at it. And I thought to myself, I never want to be this.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be this. And so I went the other way. I wanted to be a business person. I wanted to do something. And I thought, because anybody can have a kid. But then I had one and I realized, oh my goodness, this is work. This is amongst the highest work, because as they grow, it's a mirror looking back at you, having you confront those things in your own self. Mm-hmm. My son's 30 now. I am so proud. Yeah, I know. Look at me.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Everybody's going to Google now. What's happening?
Wait a minute.
Let me look at this woman.
You said your son is how old?
He's going to be 31 this month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my son's 30 now, and I'm so proud that not only of the parent that we've worked together. He's my coach in certain situations. I'm his coach in certain situations. We grow together. We take on healing trauma together.
Mm-hmm.
And that inside of that, I have had the privilege and the honor and the pain and all of it to have raised a Black man, because that is a world unto its own. So I'm deeply proud of that. And then, I'd say one of the other things is I'm just really proud that I have really carved out my own path. There's really nothing else behind me and nothing in front of me that's supposed to go any one way. And I live very much by that model, that if it doesn't feel right for me, if the people don't feel like my people, if something about this that I've chosen that looks like a good opportunity is making me feel like I got to compromise my principles, I'm out. There's nothing going to be rewarding on the other side. In fact, it may take me 10, 20 steps backwards, just because it might look like a shiny object right now. And I'm really proud of that. And the last thing is that I always do work, that I'm the human part of me, not just the body and not just the mind and all of that, but I take on my humanity every year. And this happens to be this moment we're having this conversation in December. And I tell you, Chip, I take stock every December. I've been doing this for the last 12 years, where I say to myself, are the people in my life serving me? Am I serving them? Are my behaviors serving me? And is it serving other people? And is what I'm doing fulfilling my purpose? And if I can't answer those three questions or whatever comes up, I clean house. In fact, I change my cell phone number every 2 years, because I know the people that really love me and want to stay connected with me will, and the people that were just around for whatever reason, they won't care anyway. And that way I keep it clean. So those are my three.
Man. I have one word in response to that last little bit that you gave us. And that one word is boom.
So if you're listening and you haven't been able to get a hold of me, you know why.
One more time. Boom.
Man.
Well, just hearing your story, unique story, your journey, listening to the three things that you're proud of, I would consider that to be hugely successful. So let's hit on success. What is your definition of success?
Being true to yourself.
Ooh.
I think this is such a tricky thing, because it can be so deceitful, because we've sort of for many of us, even from a young age, where, children are meant to be seen and not heard, or put that down and be quiet, and go into school and, you're not listened to, or there's bias and racism. And, we've had to go through so many thorns in order to get to any place that we wanted to, that I think there's this kind of misnomer, this kind of misdirection in us that's like, we're supposed to find out there who we are. Like, I got to find my purpose. It's always there with you. It has been right there since the beginning. In fact, all these things that have been added, all these ways that we compare ourselves to others, like, look at her over there, she's younger than me, I should be further along, all that stuff is so taking you away from who you are.
Yeah.
The only voice you need to listen to is you. And if God is something in your life, or spiritual, whatever it is, then your voice is only a reflection of you downloading and receiving and being open to. That's why it's so important. Meditation is so important, and physical interactivity is important, and having silence is important, because you've got to take away the noise to listen to yourself when you ask yourself questions. Does this feel right for me? So I can't imagine a greater success. And I'm going to tell you, we've all heard so many people who in the world of success have gotten so much and have gone so far, and they're like, I feel lost. I feel empty. I'm depressed. And you're like, oh, well, money equals and success equals that you're unhappy. No, not being true to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the thing that throws you off and has you. And that's why people that have so much money, you've seen so many people with success go back and have to do a bunch of work to return to their own voice.
Mm-hmm.
when you could have just listened along the way. It's actually much simpler. And when we don't, we have to clean up more mess and do more work. So that's what I say is a definition of success.
Okay, so now you're talking my language here, okay?
All right.
So, I think, one thing that I always like to share, and that's big to me, is, and yes, it's faith-based for me because I'm a believer. I think, we have to realize that the big man made us all a one of one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there's no other Audrey out there. There's
That's
no
right.
other Chip out there. I think when we realize that, like, oh, well, we have what we need inside of us. Like, we don't have to, like you said, we don't have to search for it. Like, what we have to do is just, we don't have to strive to conquer the world. You just have to strive to conquer ourselves. And in doing that and putting in the work to do that, that journey is amazing.
Yeah.
Because you're continually putting yourself in situations where you're uncomfortable. I told you this is okay. So you continue to put yourselves in situations where it's uncomfortable, because on the other side of that uncomfort is maximum growth.
100%.
So we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just in a call today with these three executives, and they were white male executives. So we were having a conversation about equity and diversity. And so part of the truth of the conversation, and just telling the stuff that you're afraid to say around, people of color, and to say that, and you feel shameful to say. And part of that truth is that they feel that if things get more diversified, that they're going to be at a deficit. So, and they're going to have to sacrifice. And I said, well, here's the thing inside of being true to yourself as the one of one, but the one of one that's connected to everything, because that's also part of it. We're connected. We are an ecosystem. It's all energy, and that energy affects everything else. So if I'm being true to myself, that gives the opportunity for more of a clearing energetically for Chip to be true to himself. He stays true to himself. I get to be true to yourself. That's why you want couples and relationships with people that practice their own personal integrity, right? But I said to them, you know what? And so you're a man of faith, so you would get this. Look to the story of Job. When Job made the sacrifice, did he end up with nothing, or did he end up with more?
Come on, Audrey.
And now right? That is the thing that's missing. Don't tell me you can't share with other people. You can't bring more because there's a lack of something. That is a zero-sum game conversation, which is made up by selfishness and greed, meaning if I win, you lose. If you lose, if you win, I lose. No, the world is not designed that way. The world is designed abundant. I win, you win, they win, we all win. That's the natural way. That's the universe and the earth being true to itself. And that's the same practice that we should apply. I'm me. There's more to pass around. I mean, that's 100%. That's what I think is so important.
And when we do that, I'm gonna go music on you. When we all do that, I had to warn you on this. All we do is win, no matter what. Hands up.
Go get it.
Stay there. No.
That's right.
No, but yeah, this is good stuff. But before we get off, if you don't mind sharing with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love.
For sure. Just follow, if you want to find out anything, my social media, any of the podcasts around. My podcast is Unlikely Leadership. I co-host a podcast with Pete Carroll called Conversations from the Heart. We've got other podcasts called Gorilla Muse with Reza Medicum, who is a somatic healer in the area of body trauma and white supremacy. We have Black Girl Burnout. We've got a bunch of really great podcasts that's just a body of amplifying voices. Can be found on amplifyvoices.io. Amplifyvoices.io. That's it.
That's it. Well, again, I just want to say thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. Truly appreciate it, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you, Chip.
All right. Well, thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.